And we are live. Welcome to the Vibe pop-up number 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It's been a little while since we've been on doing the show, but we living our lives, and this is an addition to our lives. We ain't making no money yet. One day we're gonna do this for a living. I got dreams, y'all. A lot has been going on. I mean, a lot's going on in the world, Craig. The world needs top flight security. Y'all remember that? Top flight security. So I went camping over 4th of July weekend in the middle of Pennsylvania. That was a lot of fun. Like out in the woods, but it was kind of like glamping because they definitely had like showers out there. You could do your laundry out there. It was a great time. Then this week has flown by so fast. I mean, crazy fast, because we had Monday off. So here we are with the pop-up. Andre, how are you doing? Oh, I can't hear you again.
My bad. I had it on mute.
Okay.
Excuse me. I'm doing good. You kind of far away, Brandon.
I am.
Can you just bring the camera up? I thought you could adjust
it. Is that better?
It's a little better.
Should I zoom? Okay, I can zoom it in. Watch.
I want you to zoom yourself in a little
like
bit.
That much?
Yeah.
More?
Yeah,
More?
that's good. No, that's good right there.
Okay. Oh, Andre, I'm on my new. I got a camera for the show. I had to upgrade, so I got a ZV-1. So I should be like crystal clear. Do I look crystal clear?
You
can
look
you see like that I moisturize?
We can see the moisture.
Hey, yes. Okay. So you was talking about your week before you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, I put it on mute because I wanted to ensure that I saw the comments on Facebook. But yeah, I'm doing good. Really busy week. I've been really tired all week for some reason. So like work is picking up, but I'm just really tired. So I'm going to be relaxing this weekend. I'm not going anywhere. I don't think this weekend. I'm going to be chilling, but I'm doing good. But yeah, I'm doing good.
Sorry.
See, you're supposed to put yourself on mute. So yeah.
Because I'm just sharing it right now. So hey, if you're watching the show, take a moment, share it on your page. I'm just going to. Sorry, I was going to share it. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So yeah, but yeah, busy week. Ready for the weekend. So yeah, I'm doing well though. Staying motivated in this CEO job that I'm in, because the amount of complaints that have come in is just continuing to come in. I think in my world, in EO, it's a lot of complaints back to back, and then I think in Brandon's world, it's just command climate surveys. Well, yes. Like each of us have a different like struggle in the world, and it's the complaints for me, because I mean I only deal with about 7 deoxes per year, but the deoxes are not, the command climate surveys are not really a big thing for me. It's the complaints. And I don't know if I ever told y'all, but cadets in cadet command can now file. So the complaints have doubled because of that regulation change. So yeah, I'm getting complaints from cadre and cadets, honey. So that has been ongoing since really, actually, I mean, I'd hate to say it, but since the Capitol riots that took place 6 January is really intensified since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I'm good. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Speaking of that, since you brought up the Capitol riots, on the pop-up show, if it's your first time watching, we have our topic shows that we usually do on Sundays, but on our pop-up shows, we really don't have topics. We just kind of discuss current events. We discuss our opinions and perspectives. We're always open to you sharing yours, especially if we appreciate differing perspectives here at the Biblical Show. It's a place where it's a mutual safe space for you to share your opinions and your views. We're definitely going to share ours, and we think that we have important things to say, and I'm sure you feel the same way. So feel free to join the conversation at any time. With that being said, talking about the Capitol riots, I think it is we're living in interesting times, because I don't even think we have two political parties anymore. Or you could say we do. We have the Democrats, and we diss the Democrats on this channel too. And mainly we just like to stick with the facts and speak the truth. But it's very interesting that the GOP is really turned into the Trump party. And when it comes to accountability for the Capitol riots, there have been the insurrection, there's been a total minimization of actually what happened. And people in Congress like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and there's a new one running now, and I think her last name is Johnson, something Johnson. I took a screenshot of it. Because shout out to Dr. Rashad, I think his name is Rashad Ritchie. He has a channel called Indisputable on YouTube, and I really like what he's doing over there. He brings on people, just like as we endeavor to do with this show. He brings on people that have differing perspectives, and he likes to stick straight with the facts, which is great, because in a time where people only want one side of the truth, like we previously discussed, critical race theory, all the people who oppose that, I've not heard one single person who opposes critical race theory be able to define it. And those are the same people who probably would call the Capitol rioters who stormed the Capitol, which should be called domestic terrorists. Those people are being called patriots. And now people's entire campaign is based around that now, and around the lack of accountability. Like, they don't want the Capitol rioters to be held accountable. And I think we are in a dangerous place. And now even the FBI is talking about that something may happen in August. And now the pillow guy done gave a date. I think it was either August or September 13th. So, they're saying if the one who they think won the election doesn't get reinstated, it's going to be some problems. So John Wright from rawstory.com, Michigan GOP congressional candidate Audra Johnson, that's her name, who became known as the MAGA bride after appearing at her wedding reception in a Make America... I died. After appearing at her wedding reception in a Make America Great Again dress in 2019, is warning of an impending civil war as she attempts to unseat a Republican incumbent. See, so like now, if you ain't about their cause and what they call patriotism, then you don't even count. Just like the police officers, right? They say, "Oh, we support law enforcement," until law enforcement ain't doing what you want them to do, and then you coming for law enforcement's neck. So she's running against a Republican incumbent who voted to impeach President Donald Trump for inciting the January 6th Capitol insurrection.
Wow. So Brandon, you did something very different just now. We didn't do our 30-second countdown to say we'll be right back. And I didn't want to cut you off. I didn't want to cut you off because you was talking about some important stuff. But we have not done that, so we need to do that. And you can take our names down and put Vipolitical pop-up number 10 on the screen.
Oh, that ain't up either? I thought I put that up.
That ain't up. Nope, that's not there.
Bam!
There it is.
Whoop!
They know we Brandon and Andre. They know
true.
who he is. So,
what's up, Everett?
I see Everett. I see Kenneth. Someone named Kenneth is on. If he's on, hello, Kenneth. I saw it pop up on the Facebook Live, but...
Okay. So you heard the man. See, that's why Andre's on the show. He keep it all together. Mr. Creative Director. Yes, we're going to have to plug our website, and I will put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat, and we'll be right back. All right, y'all, we will be right back. Now it's official. All right, now we can start the show. We done started the show right. So Andre and I have some wine, get you something to drink, get you some snacks, chill with us for a minute, vibe with us for a minute. Let us know where you're watching from. So I tried to send the, okay, maybe I need to send it like www, check out our website at vibepoliticalshow.com. We just did some updates there. We just got our domain name. We always upgrading the show. We got some nice photos on there. I'm probably going to update my photo and maybe take a professional one in Hawaii, or my dad has like a very nice camera. So I may take one, have him take one of me. And then let Andre, let me know if he approves. Maybe I'll do like a couple, then let you pick which one should be on the website. Yeah, let us know how you all are doing. We always want to, extend that invitation because we do exist to uplift and edify. Let us know where you're watching from, and let us know if there's anything you would like for us to talk about. So we were talking initially about the Capitol insurrection. I started the show off like going straight in, but I think it's a dangerous time when it's crazy. Like there used to be a time where they're like, oh, we don't have it on camera. Or remember before, like body cams with police accountability and police brutality and stuff, right? They'd be like, oh, you don't know what happened before that 30-second clip. Now, like we got 9 minutes and 40 seconds on tape, and now they're telling us that wasn't a murder, what we saw. But, clearly Derek Chauvin was convicted of, the charges he was. I don't remember them to the top of my head, but it was 22 and a half years is a sentence, which some argue could have been, he could have received a 30-year sentence. I do think it's a shame that it's a miracle that he received a guilty verdict, like, and that's shameful that the justice system is so jacked up in this country that, it's like he got 22 and a half years. I'm just glad he got something. Isn't that crazy? It's very shameful that the system is so used to victimizing and minimizing the crimes that happen to a certain group of people in this country. I think that's very shameful. These are the same people who really only want to protect certain people's rights in this country. And when it comes to people who call the Capitol insurrectionists patriots, I think those are the people who are the real threat to America. Everett said was a pleasant surprise, and I believe he's talking about in response to the Derek Chauvin verdict. So I think we're in some weird times. As I was, praying, meditating, and all that stuff, and thinking about what I wanted to talk about, we are halfway through. We're over halfway through 2021, and one of the things that I think is probably the most important aspect. We've talked about it multiple times on the show, and I don't think it's something you could talk about enough. Because we're always evolving, and that is your relationships. Honey, it's time to reevaluate your relationships again. And we're over halfway through 2021, and understand, especially if you're in your 20s, especially if you're in your 30s, and if you're above that, I'm nearly 40. Understanding that people don't really change. And praise the Most High because he can change those who would like to be changed. But it's time for you to have the right people around you so that you could be in position to receive what you need from the Most High. Because if you like me, you always in a warfare, you always in a situation, and it's not. I used to think that okay, maybe there's something wrong with me, or that kind of thing. But Yahusha, our brother, told us that we would surely be persecuted for His name's sake. We're going to go through things just because we have a desire to be righteous, just because we have a desire to do things in a proper way and represent truth and facts. And look at how, that's just not what the majority want to hear. So we have to decide, who's closest to us and ensure that those closest to us accept the truth and the facts. And if not, then we have to readjust our relationship, because no matter who it is, whether that be parents, whoever, I'm not telling you to disrespect them or not honor them. But understand your connection and your relationship with the Most High is your relationship with the Most High. You have a purpose in this world that you have to fulfill. And guess what? What your mommy did, what your daddy did, what the president did, what your supervisor did, what your commander general did, what your whatever did, none of that is going to free you from your responsibility that you have in this world to complete your purpose. Okay?
Yeah.
What you got, Andre? Because I said that with my chest.
You did. I mean, you were so adamant. You were so ready to get started before we did our countdown. So I already knew you had a lot. Yeah, a lot to say. So I appreciate you doing that. But yeah, there was two things that I wanted to talk about for the pop-up, because usually for our pop-ups we talk about current events, but I'm gonna read Everett's comment. People would rather have the comfortable lie than the uncomfortable truth. And then, oh, well, we're speaking to Sister. Oh, hey, girl. Oh, so shout out to her. I'm gonna put her on blast, but she came out to support me for CST.
Okay.
So shout out to her.
Thank you. So you made a great impression, and you done got somebody watching the show. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she's complimented the show with me whenever she was out here. So I appreciate that, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
But yeah, so there was two things that I wanted to talk about. I guess I'll start with one of them, and then the other topic we can kind of go back and forth. Like, you can talk about something, then I'll talk about something. But Brandon, I sent you a message I think on Facebook about Donald Trump suing. He's suing Facebook, Twitter, and Google for censorship. And I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, like, if you don't sit down somewhere, Donald Trump. But I'm gonna read a little bit of it. Donald Trump has launched legal action against Twitter, Facebook, and Google, having been blocked from those platforms in the wake of the Capitol riot, which we were just talking about. The former president decided to sue the tech giants and their CEOs over their shameful censorship. So you already know, I told you, Brandon, like, censorship, sweetie, these are privately owned businesses that it's even in their guideline, in their rules and guidelines that they can block anybody that they want to. So there's no such thing as censorship when you're talking about a privately owned organization. Like, there's no such thing as that. Their platforms are privately owned. But in a news conference from his golf resort in Bedminster, New Jersey, Mr. Trump railed against social media companies and Democrats, and he accused of espousing misinformation. We are demanding an end to the shadow banning, a stop to the silencing, and a stop to the blacklisting, banishing, and canceling that you know so well. Like, that comment, think about that comment. I'm gonna read that comment again from former president, 2 times impeached Trump. We are demanding an end to the shadow banning, a stop to the silencing, and a stop to the blacklisting, banishing, and this statement, and canceling that you know so well. What you mean by that, Donald Trump? But anyway, The suit requests a court order to end alleged censorship. Mr. Trump added that if they could ban a president, then they can do it to anyone. None of the tech companies named have yet responded to the lawsuit, which was filed to a federal court in Florida, because that's where Trump is. He's in Florida. Mr. Trump was joined at the announcement by former Trump officials who have since created the not-for-profit America First Policy Institute. And as you know, he got banned from Twitter and all the other social media outlets for the glorification of violence. I mean, I'll just definitely just keep it real with that. And I want to give a shout out to B. Scott, because they said Donald should be somewhere enjoying his retirement in his golden years instead of trying to sue Facebook and Google. So yeah, I just wanted to share that and just talk about the foolery of it all for you to be suing these privately owned businesses for censorship. He relied heavily, especially on Twitter, to spout all this craziness, and you're basically trying to sue. I just can't wait for him to lose. So I just wanted to talk about that and cover that. And it's just a mess with what I'm seeing in regards to that, and it bothers me because I'm sitting here like, you know, like B. Scott said, like, just enjoy your retirement year. Try to escape going to prison, because there's still legal action that could potentially be happening to him based on other stuff, not even the Capitol riot. Because if some of y'all have heard, Rudy Giuliani has been disbarred, and he represented Trump. So, but I digress.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just insane, the amount of, I guess, you know, look, it's insane the amount of evil and wickedness that people co-sign. You know, just to be honest, at this point, that's really what it is, to excuse the actions of people. And I think, you know, I'm most disappointed with the church. With all the things that we could talk about in the world, from the racism, all these kinds of things, it's kind of shameful that the church has really played a role in that. The Roman Catholic Church played a role in that. Christian church played a role in that. Evangelical Christians, conservative Christians. We just don't see the church taking a stand for social justice. We hear more of members of the church speaking against being woke and all this kind of stuff, rather than actually supporting, you know, true justice. And really representing the people that are within their communities, which is the reason why the church is existing in the first place.
Oh, I want to read Everett's comment. Regarding the censorship, be careful. This could be the way to let him back on those sites and make it look like he forced himself back on, when in fact they wanted to give him the platform to reach his followers. So what I'll say to that is, you know, I think that Donald Trump, just personally, I think that Donald Trump, well, I don't know if you know this, Everett, but Facebook is bringing him back on in 2023. So Twitter is permanently banning him, but Facebook is bringing him back on. So he only got a 2-year, really, he got 2 more years that he's banned, and he gets to come back in 2023. So I don't know if you knew that, but my thing, my point is that, you know, he's suing for censorship when you're talking about a privately owned business, that there's really no such thing as censoring anything when you're talking about a privately owned business that can do whatever they want to do. And see, he said he didn't know that. So yes.
Hey,
Daily is actually here helping us out at CST. So yeah, me and her are supposed to be trying to get together soon over the weekend. But yeah, so yeah. Oh, so he didn't know that. So yeah. Facebook's bringing them back on, but he's still suing them because at the end of the day, he got banned in January from actually, I think he got banned from all social media outlets at this point. Instagram, everybody banned him. Everybody banned him. But yeah, so he's coming back. He is definitely coming back to Facebook. So, which I mean, once again, privately owned businesses can do what they want to do, in reference to who they have back on their platform.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, no shade to Mark Zuckerberg, but I'm gonna say it. He has a big following, so I'm pretty sure that he gets a good old pretty penny for the conservatives that follow, or I'll just say the individuals. I won't say conservatives. Not all conservatives are Trump supporters. I'm not saying. Let me rephrase that. But yeah, there's a big group of people that follow him, so they're gonna get their coins. Mark Zuckerberg and even the COO, they're gonna get their coins from Trump having his platform. So it's a political move, I feel, with Facebook bringing him back in 2023, just in time for the 2024 president. For who, if Biden going to do a second term or if Trump runs again, I don't even know. But yeah, so. But I just wanted to cover that with you all because I don't know if y'all knew that Donald Trump is trying to sue Facebook, Twitter, and Google. So.
And I think that's the scary part. And, because the Trump train makes a lot of money. I mean, there's people out here making millions off of it. It's kind of crazy too.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made.
Yeah.
With Trump, with Trump supporters. And not every person that voted for Trump is a Trump supporter. And I want to be very clear, but we have to think about the 77 or 78 million people that voted for him. Yeah. Out of that 77 million people that voted for him, there's a vast majority of them that are avid Trump supporters, and they feel like their voices are muted with him not being on any social media platform. So when you think about the logistics of that and the political aspect of that, with Facebook bringing him back in 2023, they know what they're doing. Do I think Mark Zuckerberg wants him back? I'm gonna say that I don't think Mark Zuckerberg wants him back on his platform. I honestly don't think he does. I think that Mark Zuckerberg is like, dang it, I don't want him, but for that coin, let's be real, for that coin, he's bringing them back. So, I'm saying that out of like, okay, because I have watched Mark Zuckerberg. I have seen him, say some things to say like, no, I don't agree with Donald Trump. Like, I don't think that he's a Trump supporter, but I think in order to, get that coinage, he's going to bring them back. Ever said they all are. In the end, they were okay with everything and anything that he does. Don't give them a pass. And I'm not really giving them a pass. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, that's the whole reason why I'm saying, like, for the simple fact of election coming up, and I banned you, I can bring you back in because Mark gains from that. Facebook itself gains from bringing Trump back in.
Yeah, and all of this too, it's like, ooh, can I just be me on the show? Y'all know I'm just gonna be me. It's kind of like sympathy for the devil. Like by banning Trump, it's almost like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. By banning him, he gets to kind of make it seem like he's the victim, of being shadow banned and create this further narrative when, he could have started his own thing. He got enough money. There's enough money to be made on the Trump train. Remember, he started that blog.
A whole network, a whole TV network, which I thought that he was doing. I thought that he was going to have a whole network for all the Trump supporters and have Candace Owens be the CEO of it because, Daly says it's beneficial for private businesses making more than $400,000 a year to have a Republican in charge because of tax cuts and benefits. You better say it, Daly. You better say it. He becomes a martyr.
Yep.
Yes. Daly, you better say it, Daly. She said it in the smart way.
Yep.
It's politically charged on Mark Zuckerberg bringing Trump back in 2023. So.
Yep. Yeah. So you can get all that coin.
Yeah, he go.
And you know what? There's a large part of whoever basically, if you win on social media, you probably gonna win the election. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but a lot of people thought that Trump was going to do a second term though, and Biden won.
You know what's interesting? So I think it was Dr. Rashad Ritchie on Indisputable. They did a study, or it was one of them independent media people, the Young Turks. It was somebody, and somebody was talking about. They did research on the people who stormed the Capitol. Do you know majority of them were angry? This is not an excuse, but they were surveying the people who stormed the Capitol or the people that showed up there that day. And do you know how many people had financial woes or financial troubles? Now we know there were some rich folks that showed up who owned planes
And
and all that stuff.
y'all,
But there were also a lot of people, which doesn't make sense to me. So they were mad about their financial status under the president, which they then went and rioted for.
well, can I be okay? I don't know if I want to say this on the live. Okay, I'm gonna say this in the best way possible, because I'm about to. Yes. Ooh. Okay. So I think that those people that, like you just said, like you were there to speak on something, but you're voting for the person to stay, being that that individual gave you those issues. He ever said, "Careful, I think I know what you want to say." So I don't think I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'll talk. I'll come to you, Brandon, offline because I don't want to say it. But anyway, I'll say this. It's amazing to me. So I'll say this is probably the better way that I could say what I want to say, but not exactly what I really wanted to say. Okay. It's amazing to me how people can have a belief in something, but go against the grain just for status quo. And what I mean by that is what people are going through in their lives, if it could really not be benefiting them, but for the sake of image and for the sake of your status and where you're at in life, you would rather stick with what's not good for you. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying Biden is even better than Trump though either. I'm not saying that either.
Right.
But I'm saying it's just amazing to me how people can literally be in a situation where they're supporting someone that is really not beneficial to them either.
Yeah.
Because you're literally risking your. What's amazing to me with what you just said, Brandon, is that those same people that are having financial woes, I understand that. I empathize with those individuals that have financial woes. But why go to storm the Capitol though? What point were you making storming the Capitol though? Like, you having financial issues, honey, there are a whole bunch of other people with financial issues that decided to stay there behind home and not storm the Capitol. So I think for me, it's just really astonishing to me that the study did reveal, because I thought about that too. I didn't even have to hear a study. I was like, it probably, there are probably some people that's struggling and they mad and they want some order in the government and they're not happy with the government. So but at the same time, not realizing you're breaking federal law though. Like it's just interesting to me. So let's read Everett's comment. They see him as putting others in their place. He elevated the people who looked like him and made them think he was on their I want to say on their side. I think that's what you mean. Yep. When in fact he was there to get the rich more money. See, that's so. I'm glad you said that, Everett. So on one hand, you have the rich people there storming it because they want to keep him because they're benefiting. They're actually benefiting with Trump staying in the seat. But then you got folks that are in financial woes that is not benefiting them, but because they are they do the same thing too. So you just thank you, Daly. You said it perfect. They are suffering from peer pressure and their need to belong to a group. Daly, girl, Girl, I ought to hug you. So that is basically kind of where I was going. Like the group that's suffering wants to belong. Like, but you're struggling financially. Like a
Yep.
person that's struggling financially in their right mind wouldn't storm a Capitol breaking federal law though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, y'all are coming with it tonight. Yes, thank you, Brandon, for typing that in. Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all are coming with the comments, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
We
So
appreciate you.
yes, we appreciate you for that. But yeah,
And you know what's interesting though? So let's get off the Trump people for a minute and like let's talk about how President Biden told a group of wealthy people at a dinner that nobody, like basically he said nothing is going to fundamentally change. No one's standard of living is going to change.
you've been wanting to talk about. You've been talking to me. Me and Brandon have been talking about this comment like almost every week. It is so funny.
For real?
Oh, yes, I don't know if you remember, but once a week you bring this up, and I'm so glad you're saying it here because I'm like, Brandon, you're so right. Like
Mhm.
you're so right. But yeah,
And the reason why I think I want to bring that up is because, you know, we can't uplift and edify if we're not being rooted in facts and truth. And within the political realm, I think there is no unity, and there can be no unity because neither side is really working for us. And you know, to bring further weight to that, until they repeal Citizens United, we will not have a candidate. We will not have a politician who is going to represent us because Citizens United means that the big money is going to win every time. And shout out to Crystal and Sagar who stopped doing the Hill and now they do their own show, Breaking Points, on YouTube. We on YouTube, y'all, so you know you can see us on YouTube too. But
you better.
they just talked about right. They just talked about Nancy Pelosi, you know, and how she keeps moving her money around. And it's like, how are these people able to do that? How's that not insider trading? But Nancy Pelosi ain't never got in trouble. She 100 millionaire, you know, and every
$118 million net worth. Yeah, I'm
see,
gonna keep saying that for the rest. Anytime we talk about a Nancy Pelosi,
mm-hmm,
I'm gonna say her net worth. It is $118 million.
I feel like it's more now.
Can she just give me one of her million and she'll still
Mhm,
be good? If she give me 1 million of her dollars, she'll be good still. Like it'll be
mhm,
more than good. Her kids will be good. Like it's
right.
crazy to me. Let's read
Mhm.
Daly's comment. They're trying to maintain appearances. That's true, Daly. And if you think about what has happened in regards to the riots, nothing has happened. The Capitol riots are being watered down, and a majority of the people have no accountability, nor are they being held accountable.
And
Let's
let's face it,
see.
they are revving up for
August,
August or September.
August.
And the FBI already said that you know,
It's about to
and,
go down in August.
and what's crazy, yeah, they said something gonna go down in August, and the Trump people out there are saying, hey, he's gonna be reinstated. And the crazy part is, like, Debbie, why you gotta tear my shirt though?
I was like, is Deborah trying to fill in your packs? Like, what's going on?
Right. um the crazy part is like you're right. There is no accountability, and where is the justice system when you need it? And what's going to happen is further, like the Capitol Police are now opening up offices in California, and I'm trying to think of the other place. I can't remember the other place, but they're opening up two more offices now in states outside of DC. So now we're gonna have more. So because they allowed, I feel like they allowed it to happen, and now there's proof of reports that there was at least one undercover police officer or one undercover agent mixed in. So if there's one, there had to be more than one. And so, in a large portion, when you look at the FBI and how they work, is really entrapment, which should be against the law. Um, there was a movie, and maybe I can think of the name of it at some point, or I'll look it up when Andre's talking next. But they had the guy who played Harry Potter. What's his name? Something Radcliffe. He was in the movie, and it was about he was the FBI agent. And they go to show you that it's entrapment because what they do is they find somebody who has, let's say they're disgruntled. Let's say they got money problems. So they find somebody, right? That person has money problems. That person is angry with the government. they offer the tools to commit a terrorist attack. Are you following what I'm saying so far, Andre?
Mm-hmm.
This is entrapment. So they offer them the tools to commit the terrorist attack. And some in this particular movie, the guy did actually blow something up, but he was sort of enticed to do it. It's like you're angry, like we should go after the government, we should do this. I can get you this, I can get you that, I can. And so then the terrorist attack happened, and that's literally how the FBI works. So when it comes to the Capitol riots, it just makes me wonder, like, like why did y'all let this happen? Now there's going to be further surveillance of more Americans because this happened. And I can't say whether they let it happen, whether they didn't let it happen, but we know that they knew about it, and this was all over the internet, and they had access to all those reports.
And with technology, Leah, let me read Everett's comment. August is going to happen. They were talking about the Capitol riots before they happened, and then they happened. Now they're talking about August, and people don't want to take it seriously. Be careful, everyone. Thank you for that, Everett. And then Daly says, in order for entrapment to be against the law, you have to prove it.
And if the law is the one who's committing the entrapment, you ain't gonna be able to prove it.
Nope.
Then the burden of proof would be there. The burden of proof would then be on the terrorist that they created at that point.
Free will. Come on, Daly. Yes. So what I wanted to say, it was something I wanted to say before we read Everett's comment, but it left me. But
When it come back.
yeah, it left me. It was something good too, but I can't remember it right now. But yeah, I definitely think that like Everett said, something is going to happen in August, and we definitely have to be careful and staying vigilant and safe during this time. But I kind of want to go back to what you said about. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about because I've been taking some time to think about this just on my own in reference to Biden. Because at the end of the day, Biden is our president and all that stuff, but he ain't no. I already done told y'all how I feel about Biden.
Yeah.
On the surface, he may be great and stuff like that, and there is some things that he's done. He's brought some stuff that Trump like removed and brought it back. So on the surface, he's good, but I'm keeping one eye open on Biden, and I'll just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
One eye open on Biden.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I think that to plug that thing, shoot, we already look. A lot of people talk bad about the Bible, but I would go so far to say many of those people haven't read it for themselves and got the interpretation for themselves. They've allowed it to be interpreted by people who, like President Trump, say he's a Christian, say he's a God-fearing man, talks about his pastor Norman Vincent Peale, who was also a Mason, but he has never repented. So sometimes we've listened to men and women preach the so-called gospel who they themselves never repented. So, I would like to make the plug. Everything we talk about on this show, what governs our lives is the Most High and seeking direction from Him and having a personal relationship and a connection to Him daily with outside of the church, outside of, another human, where it's, our brother Yahusha came to die for the sins of the world so that he could live in us and that we could have his power so then we could be directly connected to the Most High. And I think now is the time to definitely, if you've never took the time to see what that's about, take that dive.
Daly said, just to be safe and prepare for August, you can ask for a safety brief from your S2 or Intel sections. Yes, Daly, yes.
See?
Which I'm hoping that they do. I mean, I'm kind of wanting to see that happen because there's a lot of naive people in the world. So they need to be made aware. So, y'all, I want to pivot from this topic and I want to move into another topic. I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but I want to talk about Felicia Rashad. If y'all don't know who Felicia Rashad is, she was Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show. And I mean, amazing actress, Emmy-winning actress, all that stuff, right? But Felicia Rashad has faced some major criticism because, as most of you all have heard, Mr. Bill Cosby, the terrible Mr. Bill Cosby, is no longer locked up. He got released on last Wednesday, I want to say, and Felicia Rashad spoke her support of Bill Cosby. So I'm going to read the tweets that she posted. And the tweet that she posted was finally in all caps with 4 exclamation points. And it says, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected. That is what Felicia Rashad said about Bill Cosby being released. The tweet has been removed, and Rashad backpedaled, y'all. She backpedaled. And she wrote a statement that says she fully supports survivors of sexual assault coming forward. And she also sent a letter of apology to the Howard students because she got selected to be the dean of fine arts at Howard University a month before she made this tweet. Howard alumni has expressed disappointment at her remarks. And the Howard University, the actual people at Howard said that her initial tweet lacked sensitivity towards survivors of sexual assault. So I want to talk about that because for me, I'm just going to say it. Felicia Rashad, you should have kept your comments to yourself because although you received some information about your friend, yeah, we're going to just be real, your friend getting out of prison, I told my best friend Georgia this. Shout out to Georgia because she made a great statement. I told Georgia, I said, girl, Felicia Rashad should have kept that comment in her house. She should have kept that comment between her and her family about how she's very happy that her friend. But when celebrities post stuff on social media, and you probably thought because I'm Felicia Rashad, ain't nobody gonna try me because I'm 73 years old and I said what I said. She did not realize she was finna get all of Twitter to come for her. Because at the end of the day, the court of public opinion is very strong. And it was disgraceful for her to say something like that when just because the ruling was overturned does not mean that he didn't do it. Especially when he admitted on tape that he has drugged women. It's literally verbal talk of Bill Cosby saying that he has drugged women in the past, like literal. So Felicia Rashad, you could have kept that to yourself. Everyone has a right to their own opinion. I'm not sitting here telling you that you cannot feel that way because I'm not going to invalidate how you feel, Miss Rashad. But sweetie pie, you got the business on Twitter. She did not realize that. And I'm going to say this. I hope she gets removed as dean at Howard University. Because that right there, you could have kept to yourself. I could have went the rest of my life not knowing. I could have went the rest of my life not knowing that she felt that way. So Daly says, I think he is dying and they released him to die at his home, which is BS. Ooh, that I didn't think about that. In her defense, she never said he did not do it. Horrible and yeah. And then Miss Johnson says horrible and yeah, I agree. So yes, I'm glad you're playing devil's advocate, Everett, on the fact that she never said he did not do it. But at the end of the day, you have to be very careful, especially as a public figure, on what you say on social media. Because you don't have to say that she didn't have to say that he didn't do it. But what's the perception though? The perception that she gave was that, oh no, he's free. Thank you, Jesus. He's free. The wording itself saying, I'm just saying. Ever said we don't say that word. Well, I don't know what word. What word does he talk about? Well, tell us what word you're talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
back to what I was saying, the perception that is given when you are, and what made it worse, what made it worse is that it was only like 30 to 45 minutes after the article came out that he was released. It was like she was quick, honey. It was like, that
Mm-hmm.
girl is barely out the prison doors, and you already going in, girl. Like what?
Uh-huh. I guess
So
she knew.
I wasn't here for it, Felicia Rashad. Like I said, she has a right to her own opinion, but you have to be aware of the consequence culture
Mm,
that will take place for Felicia Rashad, because I don't believe
mm.
in canceling her, but I definitely believe in consequence culture. Yes, Everett, you are the best at devil's advocates. You
He said we
are.
don't say that. Remember, we don't say that on this show.
Oh, did I say devil's advocate?
Yeah, I think you did.
I did. Oh, my bad. To play opposite opinion or opposite of what I'm saying. Let me. I got to figure out some words to replace devil's advocate. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, definitely. You could have kept that to yourself. And
Yeah.
I don't believe in counseling Felicia Rashad. I don't. I don't think this is necessarily a career ender. I
Mm-hmm.
think if she does do an interview and really, she ain't gonna be counseled.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely believe, like I said before in LeVar Burton, "Where's My Money?" Because I talked about consequence culture before your article went out. But
Right.
I believe in consequence culture, and she was held accountable for her actions by public opinion. Oh, ever said 4 times? I said it 4 times. Well, I said I got to figure out a replacement for those 2 words. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe you should help us with that, since you don't like
I
something.
think I started it. I
Yeah,
started
Brandon
saying we don't
started
say
it,
that on the show.
and now I'm saying it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think Everett should help us with that, then, since you want to hold me accountable
Mm-hmm.
for saying the word whole
Well,
time.
I'm the one. Well, I'm the one who said we should not. We don't say that on this show.
Yeah, we're not gonna say it on the show. He said you say that, but you want her removed. I didn't say I want her removed. I didn't say nothing about removing Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, you did from being the dean.
Oh yeah, that yes. I'm talking about like her acting, and like she could still have her acting career, but I think it kind of tarnished her image, in my opinion, because like you gotta think. I'm thinking about public opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Public opinion saying you make a statement like that when there were literally women that were people were saying he's sexually assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
So if people have sexual assault complaints within Howard University, are they going to feel comfortable with knowing that Felicia Rashad is going to support their claim? Not saying that she won't, but in the court of public opinion, yeah,
Yeah.
folks ain't gonna want to go to no dean about none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially with a dean that quickly said, finally he's released,
Yeah.
when there have been people saying that they were sexually assaulted by him, and for him to openly admit that he was drugging women in the past.
Yeah. That's a
Because
lot.
what happens after you drug somebody? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's rhetorical, but I'm just asking.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's a lot there. Um, that is a lot.
but yes, I want her removed as dean. Yep, I'm saying it. Yep. I
Mm-hmm.
want her removed as dean just for the optics. Not necessarily because she's not qualified, but for the optics, especially with Howard University being an HBCU and all this. It's just too much, and she just gotta go. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
girl. In my opinion, you messed up, girlfriend.
Yeah, social media be getting people in trouble. This is the thing. Like certain things just shouldn't be said, and
On,
you
on
know, just
social media. On social media. Say what you
yeah.
want to say, just not on the social media, boo-boo. On Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Call
And
your
she,
friend.
Twitter is cutthroat. Do you know the folks on Twitter are cutthroats?
Yes.
And I'm over here. Oh, I'm gonna answer that, Miss Johnson. I'm gonna answer that in a moment. But my thing is, with that is, this is the part that's crazy to me. She made that statement on Twitter, and then you backpedal on and then you know what, another thing that got me? I'm on Twitter. I'm confessing. I'm on Twitter defending her. Like, oh, one of her team members to put that up. There was no way Felicia Rashad. I'm on Twitter saying, nah. There's no way Felicia Rashad. I'm like, one of her team members that is running her account. She is 73 years old. There's no way Felicia Rashad. I was defending her, and people was coming for me like, no, she said it. They coming for me saying, no, she said it. Like, no, she said it. And I'm like, oh, no, because Felicia Rashad would not. Because Felicia Rashad was quiet whenever he was getting, whenever he got charged or whatever. She ain't saying nothing at first. So I was like, no, there's no way Felicia Rashad. But no, people was coming at me saying, no, she said it. You can go on just. And then I'm like, well, she don't know how to block comments because I will say this and I'll move on and then I'm going to answer Johnson's question. So. So when she posted it on Twitter, you all, she turned off the comments. So, usually when you post something, you can have people reply. Honey, that comment box was off. You could not go in and comment. You couldn't comment on it. You couldn't retweet it, nor could you. Well, you could retweet it, but you cannot literally respond to it was blocked. It was cut off. So in my mind, I'm thinking, does Felicia Rashad know how to turn off comments at 73 years old? So that's why I was like, nah, she couldn't have did it. She's 73. There ain't no way a 73-year-old woman know how to turn off comments or nothing like that. She did. But, well, people's coming at me. So I was like, well, okay, she said it did. So since y'all gonna she said it, okay, y'all get off my back. Because I was like, there's no way she said it. So, Everett, I tried to be the opposite of not that those two words you don't like. I tried to go against the grain and be like, well, there's no way Felicia this. But she did it because she started backpedaling. So, so to answer your question, Johnson, with what qualifies her to be a dean? So in order to be a dean, one of the things I know is that you would have had to have attended the college that you're applying to be a dean at, preferably, because that's kind of like. It gets you a better seat in there because you used to attend that college. You have to, and I'm looking it up here. So you have to have a bachelor's degree and then a master's definitely to become a dean or an assistant dean at a college. Because I actually had this up and then I lost it. Because I felt like somebody was going to ask me this. Because I had to answer. It's preferred. It's also preferred that you have a doctorate degree as well to be a dean. Because I mean, you would need to have like the highest degree. And I mean, you can't be a dean with just a bachelor's. And then you got folks going for graduate degrees and you ain't got one. Yeah. So a doctoral degree is definitely one of the main things that you have to qualify to be a dean. That's one of the main qualifications in order to get to be a dean is to have a doctoral degree. And I think she has a doctoral degree in fine arts, which is why she qualifies to be. That's why she ended up landing the job. And she attended Howard University. Her and Debbie Allen, her sister, attended Howard University.
Oh yeah,
you're very welcome. Debbie Allen is. You didn't know Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad are sisters? Yeah. And Debbie Allen has been all the way quiet. She ain't said nothing. And yeah, Debbie Allen ain't defending Felicia. She ain't saying nothing. She's remaining mute on that. So
I see why. Black Twitter will come for you quick.
Listen, Brandon, she could have called her sister and said, hallelujah, he out. But, girl, you put it on Twitter. Girl. But, yeah. That's the main qualification is to have a doctoral degree to be a dean.
What else should we talk about, y'all? Thank you for commenting so much. You've been carrying the show. Everett, thanks for pointing out the words we don't say that Andre said 4 times. Andre owe me some money now.
I don't owe you no money, being that you started it first by saying devil's advocate. No,
I didn't. I didn't.
Not today, you didn't.
I said we don't say it on the show. That's what I started. That's why Everett knows we don't say this on the show. That's why he coming at you saying we don't say that. We don't say those words.
I won't say
Mhm.
those two words again. I'll
Yeah.
find a substitute word for those words.
Okay, let's talk about. Okay, so you know what song I've been feeling lately? We could come back full circle back to the relationship thing. So her has a song called "Damage." Oh, he got
Oh,
a.
every comment. Have you talked about track and field and Olympics yet? I do want to
Mm-mm.
talk about Shakari Johnson if it was because of weed.
Okay, I
I
feel like I
do.
got allergies. I ain't got COVID, y'all. It's allergies.
Well, that boot all up your face too.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. His hair just everywhere. I'm just like, right, just.
Yeah. I do
Oh,
want
but
to
I'll
talk.
talk about that song real quick.
Yeah, talk about the song, and I want to talk about Everett's question.
Yeah, there's a song by her called "Damage." If you have not heard that song, listen to that song. It's so deep, especially if you're in a position of putting yourself first. Like, just I'm a lyrics person, and she just be saying some deep stuff. And I think she's just a great artist. I don't like all her music. I don't like all of it. I don't like too much profanity, even though I sometimes use profanity. But one line that she said in her song, she said, "Intuition can see through elusive intent." She's just a deep artist, and the song is really just about putting yourself first and acknowledging that people treat you how you let them treat you, in particular in relationships. And I feel like a friend probably should get more grace than somebody who you are involved with emotionally, that you're supposed to love. Like a friend or somebody who doesn't live with you can get more grace and mercy because they're not as connected to you. They can't do as much damage. Ha, get that? You know, that's the name of the song, Damage. And it's just like if you take me for granted, you can do damage. It's just a great song. So
Yeah. So, Everett said I already got the business for saying it. Oh, and it's Shakari Richardson. My bad. I don't know why I said Shakari Johnson. Maybe because
yeah.
it flowed. But
Mhm.
Shakari Richardson. So if y'all don't know about Shakari Richardson, she
Mhm.
won the one of the I think the relay races. I don't know which meters it was, but she broke a
Mhm.
record actually being the fastest female in the Olympics
Yep.
altogether. I think it was like 10.62 seconds or something like that. It was like whoa. Um,
Mhm.
and then before she got sent to the Tokyo Olympics, she tested positive for weed. And
Mhm.
according to the rules and regulations that are in the Olympics, that you cannot test positive for, I think for any drug for that matter. I think any drug, even though weed is legal it's 100 meters. Thank you. Even though it was legal. I think I want to say she was in Oregon or wherever she was at. It was legal where she was physically, but of course in Japan it's not. So she got removed.
Mhm.
Um, I listened to The Read with Kid Fury and Crystal. Shout out to them. And I want to say it was Crystal that made a good point, Crystal West. She made a really, really good point in reference to her because so on one hand, she got attacked. So she got attacked for doing drugs. And she's been on like all Good Morning America. She's been on all these platforms talking about like I take responsibility, like I
Mhm.
smoke weed because like she just found out her mama died a week prior to the
Yep.
actual race she did. Her mom passed. I was like, Lord Jesus.
Mhm.
So she was probably doing weed to make sure she felt nice and good prior to this run, whatever. So and I'm not justifying or anything like that. She knew the rules. She admitted that she knew the rules and all that stuff. But what happened is within the LGBT community, this is something that y'all may not know, but within the LGBT community, she got attacked for some homophobic comments towards Lil Nas X. She said some really rude things about him. I don't think she liked the video. She didn't like the video that he did, the recent one, the crazy demonic video.
Mhm.
She didn't like that, but she called him like a derogatory term. And then I think when she was 15, she said, if a man were pink or something like that, you a fag or something to that effect. So the LGBT community was, Johnson said that's she ran fast and high. Yes.
Looking like a flame with her red hair.
I mean, just so her hair matched her high. Yes. So, but yeah, so she posted some homophobic rants and stuff like that. So the LGBT community attacked her. But one thing that Crystal said on the Read podcast is that she was like, I'm not gonna sit here and badger a person that made comments at 15 years old. She was a teenager. What she said wasn't right. Got it. But she was 15 years old when she said that stuff about those homophobic comments. And she came out as bisexual shortly after the run. She's bisexual herself. So I think before she discovered who she was, we all know usually people that are very uncomfortable around gays and lesbians and bisexuals and trans, that they have a curiosity within themselves that they over here bashing and being saying derogatory things about the community. So I think for her, she was discovering who she was, and I'm not defending it because I'm not making it right, but like, can y'all get off of her? She just realized that she's not going to the Olympics. This is worldwide news, and then y'all just finding something. This is kind of what I don't like, when people find stuff from way back and then bring it to the current. And she already got enough going on by not even going to the Tokyo Olympics. And then now we bringing in stuff that she said way in the past. She didn't move forward, evolve. She didn't grew. She done found herself and all this stuff. And now y'all bringing this up. So for me, it's like, okay, can we get off of her? And I think for me, you know what bothers me more, Brandon and everyone? Black people are attacking black people. We got black folks attacking other black folks. And for me, it's like, okay, we already get enough from racist folks. We do. We already get enough. We get enough from them. We don't need to be attacking our own people. Okay. I wasn't gonna talk about it, but we could talk about Tabitha Brown and Wendy Williams. I'm about to be happy to talk about it. Actually, I want you to pull up the YouTube video if you can access it. It's a 6-minute and 13-minute clip. Just type in Wendy Williams versus Tabitha Brown real quick on YouTube. And then we can watch it because I want everybody to watch it. Yes. Everett, have you heard about this Tabitha Brown and Wendy Williams debacle? Because I have. I got all the tea. So while Brandon is looking that up, because Everett said stop, but I'm not. So one thing that Brandon has thought about, and I gave it a go because I'm creative director. But but one thing that Brandon brought up was like sometimes, well, really more so for our pop-ups, that maybe sometime in the show we will show a YouTube clip and then you'll see our reaction and then we'll talk about it to kind of just bring some diversity to our show. Like we talk about current events on the pop-ups, but just exactly what you see now. You just saw that YouTube thing pop up real quick. So did you see the 6-minute, 13-minute?
Yeah.
13 second.
I'm just trying to make sure I share it the right way.
But yeah, so I want us to watch that because, and I'll give a little bit of commentary while he's fixing that. So basically, Wendy Williams, with her shady behind self, was on her show, which is her platform. You know Wendy Williams to be a person that goes in on people, talks about their life and be shady. Like we know that's just Wendy. That's what she's made her money off of, being shady Betty, right? But you came for the most positive peacemaker. You came for the most positive. Actually, she's probably one of the epitomes, just like Brandon and I, on uplifting and edifying the people. Like Tabitha Brown uplifts and edifies. Like if we can get Tabitha Brown to come on the show and talk to us, I would so love that because, well, that would actually help us out because she's like a social media influencer and now actress, but she definitely came. Wendy Williams came for her and basically said, well, I won't give too much away, but like, she was like, do you know her? And then, oh, here it is right here, y'all. Here it is. Well, it's spinning. Ooh.
Hold up, and we ain't got the sound. Come on, Wi-Fi.
You meant to rewind it.
I know.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna pause it for a second, and then, but go ahead, keep talking.
Okay, so basically, I'll try to give like a quick, like in a nutshell. And do y'all know who Tabitha Brown is? Well, Everett said yes, he does know. Okay, so anyway, Wendy Williams came for Tabitha by basically, as you can see on the screen, she's talking about her. And basically, do y'all know Tabitha? And you know the audience clapped loudly because they know who Tabitha is. And she was like, "Well, I don't know her. I don't know her," but she started speaking about the fact that Tabitha Brown is retiring her husband, who is working for the LAPD, to pursue his nonprofit organization with helping little kids. And basically, she went in on Tabitha, basically saying, like, you know, I remember doing that for my ex-husband, and I don't trust that. And your marriage is going to be on murky waters because you are over here doing. I mean, she really went in on Tabitha and said some hateful things to Tabitha, basically trying to say that girl, in a way, I don't know if she was trying to give advice, but she was shady with it, saying like, girl, don't be doing that. But she was it was from a very hurt place. But honey, Tabitha's response, when I say Tabitha politely read her rights, and like so one of the people said she got read from the angels in heaven above. Now, when I tell you how angels reading people, I don't read people, but she said she got read like the angels from heaven, with the sound of angels from the heavens above. How do you get read like that? So so that's kind of like a synopsis of what you're getting ready to see. So hopefully the sound will play this time.
Okay.
Oh no, the sound's not on. Do you have the volume all the way up?
I do.
Oh, do we need to mute us, maybe?
I don't think so. I didn't last time.
Hey, Olivia. Olivia said basically she needs to mind the business that pays her. Yes, absolutely. She definitely does. I wanted y'all to see that, but it looks like the sound is acting kind of weird. Because I wanted y'all to hear what Wendy had to say because it was absolutely hilarious to me. That Wendy, you came for the most positive person. She's one of the most positive social media influencers out there. And like I said, that's the reason why I want her to come on our show and talk to us, because we all three of us really have the same goal in mind, is to uplift and edify the people and encourage people. I mean, me, Brandon and I are a little bit more rough around the edge because we be talking about stuff. But as far as like the intent of our show, we definitely uplift and edify like Tabitha does.
Right. I'm gonna try one more time.
You gonna try one more time? Okay.
Yeah, I'm clicking on the thing. It says share audio.
That is a beautiful picture of you, Olivia, by the way. But yeah. I wonder why it's not. Because anytime we go offline and we be playing with the YouTube videos, it's nice. It's loud.
I mean, it works fine. Yeah.
Maybe it's because Facebook doesn't allow it.
Oh.
Maybe Facebook has like that copyright thing where you can't play YouTube videos on Facebook Live. But I think on
YouTube, I thought we could before.
I don't think we've never tried this while we were on live with the people. I don't think.
Oh.
Remember? Yeah, this is the first time you're doing it while we're actually talking to folks.
I'm mad about it.
Yeah, that would have been really, really good to show y'all.
Guess what I'm gonna do? How about I just, don't watch it now because you ain't here with us. No, I'm kidding. Everybody go leave the show and go watch it.
Yeah. Olivia said, she saying thank you to me. She says, thanks, boo. Love the show. Keep it up. I'm glad you make time to watch Olivia, because Olivia booked and busy, honey. Okay. So I'm glad
that Olivia.
I'm glad she's made time to watch. So he posted the link to that video so y'all can watch it. For those of you that have not seen it, Everett, you need to watch it. because you'll get a good laugh out of it.
And it actually made me feel. It made me feel good. Actually, like Tabitha Brown just has a way with words, and she's just sweet. And it didn't even seem like she was really reading her. Like,
I said read just to be funny. I don't think she was
yeah,
reading her, but I will say that Tabitha was defending herself too. So I was glad that you
yeah,
can still defend yourself and speak from a place of love. And I think that's what I loved
yeah.
about Tabitha is that she was like, okay, Wendy, I don't know what you're going through, baby, but over here in
Mm-hmm.
my marriage, we good over here. So I don't know what you got going on over there in your head, but we good. You don't have to worry about
Mm-hmm.
me. So I mean, she didn't say it like that, but it was very positive. So it wasn't very catty. And I think that's why Wendy hasn't said nothing else because there's no comeback after that. There's
Nope. And
you
listen,
can't
the way,
respond.
yeah, and the way that she said, "I pray this for you and I pray that for you," I felt the anointing on that. I said, "Hey." I felt the glory when she was like, I'm praying for you. I pray that you find the love that you never had. And we should all pray for people in these situations."
I have seen the video and the reply. She said what she said through a smile and love. Thank you.
Right.
That was exactly what happened because I was like,
And she has some power, conviction, and some anointing behind her prayer. And if Wendy really wants all that she said in that prayer, she can have it. She can.
she's blocking her own blessings, actually.
Yeah.
I'm still holding a very malice and hateful heart. Like there's no reason for that. You've endured your pain. We empathize with you, Miss Wendy, for feeling that the pain, the residual effects of your ex-husband who is a dog, a big old dog, a
Mm,
raggedy dog. Yes, you a raggedy dog, Kevin Hunter. Yes, you are. But
mm,
at the end of the day, Wendy, you have to find the love within yourself, that self-love that I have been on, um,
hmm.
and look within yourself and say, okay, I love myself enough to not infringe my relationship onto someone else's relationship.
Yeah.
Your story is not their story, and that's where she messed up at. And then it wasn't from a place of love.
Hmm.
It was not from a place of love, Wendy, at all. It was very hateful. So, and it's residual effects of what doggedy dog, um,
Hmm.
terrible Kevin Hunter was towards her. He
Yeah.
did her wrong. He did her dirty and got a whole baby from it. So
Mm,
I'm not a fan of Kevin, and God gonna get him. That's all.
hmm. Yeah, and I think this is about time. Wendy got a moment in this moment right here with that situation right there for deliverance because that prayer was powerful. And if you didn't think it was powerful, then watch it again, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because I really felt the power of the Most High when she was praying, and I was like, shoot, I received that for me, the love that I never had that fills my soul and my spirit and all this stuff. I'm like, ooh, can I have that, Lord? Shoot, that's what I want.
I
And
mean,
so.
it's spoke to people that she wasn't even talking to.
Hmm.
And I think that's what makes it powerful. Like, you came for the wrong person, Miss Wendy.
Hmm.
You really did. Wendy tried to place her experience onto someone else's situation, the old misery loves company approach, and it backfired. And it
Hmm.
backfired in the most angelic way.
Yeah, and like she did, I mean, she just played a video and Wendy was really trying to get people to co-sign with what she was saying. Like clap if you know what I'm talking about. And obviously the audience is going to clap because it's Wendy and they on her show.
There was
But that's
hesitation, Brandon. There was
huh?
hesitation on the claps.
There
If you
was.
listen to, they were like, but they're like, I'm on Wendy, so I'm a clap.
Yep.
Like, okay, there was hesitation.
There
There was
definitely was. There
because
definitely
they
was. And I think it's time for Wendy to do like a makeover too. Like I don't you can't be no healed person. Look at my English right there. You can't be no healed person, right? You can't be no healed person. And like all you do is like your entire living, your entire show is made off of just nastiness.
her platform after this Tabitha Brown thing, she can change her
She
platform
need
for
to.
next
She
because
need
her
to.
season ends. So the season ends supposed to be the end of this month. So August is usually their hiatus, and then they come back in September. So I think When she comes back in September, she needs to have a whole different. Now you can still talk about current events, kind of like how we do and stuff like that, but from a positive frame of mind or from a positive outlook. Be realistic, of course, because we're realistic. You tell them, Jethro.
Yeah.
But yeah, it comes from a genuine place. Now, mind you, now no one's perfect, because I know I just called Kevin a dog, a dirty dog, and a ugly dog. I'm not perfect. I have shaded some people on here. I have, but at the end of the day, I feel like at the end of the day, it's rooted in love. But I throw jabs. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I'm just over here perfect. I throw jabs, and I need to work on that. But this is me being authentically me. At the end of the day, but because as our platform builds, I have to be careful not to be shit, because it'll come like, Andre, you said this, and then so I got to be careful, because we could become bigger than what we are now. So mental note for me, I'll be careful, or as careful as I can, because I ain't perfect, because I ain't trying to get consequence cultured. Okay.
Yeah, so. Definitely not. And if we do get consequence, let it at least be about the truth.
Well, it ain't gonna be about the truth. I shade, but there's an element of truth in my shade. Wendy threw shade at something and threw malice at something where, girl, you ain't got no facts. That's what Georgie said. Shout out to my best friend Georgie. This is what she said, because I was trying to remember. That's what I forgot to mention. My best friend Georgie said, where Wendy went wrong was when you are speaking about something. You said, do you know Tabitha Brown? Oh, I don't know her. But then you create a whole story about her, but you claim you don't know her. So if you don't know her, how dare you come and talk about her marriage when you don't even know Tabitha personally? So she already worked herself into putting her foot in her mouth, because you don't even know Tabitha or her husband to even. You don't even have no facts to say that Chance, Tabitha's husband, is anything like your ex-husband. So those two stories those two stories don't connect.
She started shady. That was shady. The way she said, I don't know her, but you featuring her on your show.
You gave her a platform. You just gave her more of a platform. Because shout out to Tabitha. I'ma say it. She promoted a McCormick seasoning today. It sold out in 39 minutes. McCormick and her signed a deal to have a seasoning. Shout out to McCormick's. It's like a special seasoning made by Tabitha. Her pictures on it. Sold out in 39 minutes. The website, it was like there's no more. More's gonna come back in the fall. So, and I'm willing to bet you it's sold out, because Wendy, a week prior, Wendy gonna talk about it on her show. And it's like, oh, let me look at the Tabitha person. Then they looked her up and was like, oh, she got 39 minutes sold out. Ever said messy, but that is her bread and butter. It is, but she needs to change it. Yeah, she needs to change that.
Yeah, because at this point you got enough money, and even if she don't have enough money, or even if they want to drop her show, she could go to YouTube. Like people are YouTube millionaires. Just start a YouTube channel, and she could change her whole game, and still talk. She's probably still an element of her will be her, but you don't got to be nasty about it. You can still talk about the drama.
Yes, I think it's okay to talk about drama or actual situation where you have facts about it.
Yeah.
Like there's backstory to what you're saying. Like you have evidence or you have stuff that can support your comment. But if you didn't know Tabitha, you coming for somebody you don't even know.
Yeah.
Regardless if Tabitha had a raggedy husband or not, which I know Tabitha don't. Because just by looking at Chance with his fine self, by the way, he fine. Chance is fine. But yeah, that is a hardworking man. He was in the LAPD, retired after 15 years, and I see Chance. I saw his nonprofit. He's mentoring young little boys to be successful Black men. It's a very good business a nonprofit that he has in California. So mind the business that's yours, like Olivia said. Mind the business that's yours, Wendy.
Wendy need to
Stop.
go. Wendy, you need to go on and write her a check. Go on and write her husband a check, and go on and help his dreams come true. That's what she need to do.
She can drop a good old 50K, and that ain't even gonna hurt her.
50K.
Right the wrong.
Just go on and drop. Put some more zeros on the end of that.
500,000. I don't know. I mean,
$1 million. How about $1 million?
Well, yeah, she can afford $1 million. Well, Wendy got long money. Wendy's net worth is like 45. I think it's actually like 60 million. And Wendy got money. Yes, look, her net worth is like 60 million. Oh yeah, Wendy got long money. Yeah, what? How you doing? Yes, she's okay.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like even behind the scenes, like so, and this is actual fact, y'all. I have a friend of mine who is friends with someone that's on the staff for Wendy Williams, like that works at the Wendy Williams show, and they say she is a delight. She is amazing behind the scenes. Like she is a sweetheart. She's very auntie-like, very big sister-like. Like behind, but not the Wendy we see, the messy one, not the messy Wendy y'all see on TV. But behind the scenes, they say, I'm just being real. But behind the scenes, they say she's amazing. It's like she literally turns that on, and that's what it's kind of like the alter ego type thing. Like she is not the same person behind the scenes that she is on that stage. So like Brandon said, I think she can change her narrative a little bit and readjust how she talks about drama.
Like I can see her doing her show from her house, like the real Wendy. You know what I mean? Like she can call it the real Wendy.
During the pandemic, she filmed at her house during the pandemic, and she actually wasn't even as bad at her house. It seems like on that show in that purple chair, that's when it's like, oh. But during the pandemic, she didn't really. She was actually a little bit more mellow. She was still windy, but I think because she was in her environment at home, and she was a little bit more loose and not as uptight and like. But on that show in that pink chair.
Like what?
But
Dabu is right. Dabu is right here. They crazy.
But yeah. But I guess we can wrap it up. We've been on for almost an hour and a half.
I know. Thank you all for watching the show. Is there anything else that y'all wanted us to hit on, or any other comments
that you talk about before we go?
Any other comments that y'all have? We put your comments up on the screen. You get to enjoy the show with us. Thank you so much for the comments that you already provided. Everett, you always carrying the show. Thank you, Olivia and Sister Johnson. That's Sergeant Johnson, huh? That's Sergeant Johnson who's helping you all out at SCSP too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I never asked how to say her first name, so I don't want to mess up her first name because I never asked how she pronounces it. So that's why I just call her Johnson. I may have to ask her. Oh, where you go, Brandon?
Oh my gosh, are we still here?
Oh,
okay, we still live.
I am by myself right now.
I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? At Daily, I was like trying to scroll up on the comments and I accidentally clicked something and it like clicked out the show. And thank you, Daily, for all the comments too. Sergeant Daily.
Yeah, all of y'all. We appreciate it so much.
Refugio.
Oh, Refugio. Okay, Refugio. I can remember that. Refugio. No, Refugio. Oh, Refugio. Okay. I hope I said that correctly. Refugio.
I think you did.
Because you know what I wanted to say? Well, I'm not going to tell you what I wanted to say because then it's not correct.
Oh. You was going to say Geo?
I was going to say refugio, yes, but it's refugio. So the G is silent, it looks like. But all right.
Okay, before we gotta go, we gotta talk about one person. Look, hold up. And
it's gonna be what?
Look.
Who we gonna talk about?
Bam.
Oh, girl. Girl. Tucker Carlson, girl, I can't. What he do now? Because I don't know anything current on Tucker
Just
Carlson.
like, okay, so there is a little bit of there is a little bit of truth to what he said about him being spied on by the NSA or whatever. But it's like so minute of the truth. It's like, who is the NSA not spying on? That's why Snowden can't come back and can't show where he at and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because he told the truth about what the NSA is doing. So who is the NSA not spying on? So I just can't. Can he be canceled? Because people like him,
I think he just needs to be removed from the network. I think he just needs to go.
I agree.
I think that he is the epitome of misinformation.
I agree.
And he feeds the narrative to continue to be wrong. So
I think Fox, that's the entire Fox News network, besides Chris Wallace sometimes, Shepard Smith, who ain't there no more. But Chris Wallace is probably the only other person. Chris Wallace, I like the way he talks. Like, he's probably the only person on Fox News that makes any sense. Everyone else is just crazy as hell. And Tucker Carlson, like, everything he says is inflammatory. He just has a face that you just want to punch him in the face. Like, just the faces that he makes and the inflammatory things that he says every night that then people are going to go out and do.
Everett said he is seen as a leader to some, so he will not go anywhere as long as they have a message to get out. And I mean, I know Everett, I to go because he has definitely created this monster of a narrative for misinformation and twisting up stories and making it sound so it's just even his voice has gotten to be annoying. Like, I don't even want to hear his voice.
He got a devil's laugh too. That like you sound like a demon, like a devil, like a witch. Like he is an evil person, and like that Slytherin, he got a Slytherin tongue. Like, I don't know if he could tell the truth. And it's funny because, like, when you look at all of these people who are prominent in the right wing, most of them had like a alternate identity, like Kellyanne Conway, Tucker Carlson,
Candace Owens,
the McEnany. Like, all these people, they did not like Trump. All these people had a different mentality. Lindsey Graham, right? Like, none of these people like Trump, and they all.
Is Lindsey Graham gonna come out and say he gay? Is he gonna do that eventually?
Lady G, right? He needs
Lindsey
to.
Graham is all the way gay.
He is.
He has them NDAs ironclad.
Don't he?
Okay, because there's no way that he likes women, and I'm not saying that to be shady. That man has them NDAs locked down. I know he's been with a plethora of men, and I'm not saying that to be shady. I'm just saying. Yeah, but he's in his 60s, so I don't think he ever coming out to say nothing about a gay. So, but yes,
they call him Lady G.
Yes, I know, Lady G, boo boo. You let us know and be real, but no, you know. Yes, Instagram got them NDAs locked. There ain't none of them gonna come out and say that they slept with Lindsey Graham. But Lindsey Graham, sweetie, go on and join us. Come on and join Brandon and I in the LGBT train.
Right?
Because I'm like, no, there's no way. And especially when he get lit, kind of get like, when he gets like hyper or whatever, the little feminine little, I'm like, oh, what you doing, Lindsay? Lady G, yes, Lady G, yes.
That's what they call him, Lady G.
And I know he hates it, but he loves it at the same time because he know he a lady, you know. Just saying.
Well, thanks for rocking with us. And we when are we coming back on? Oh, you know, huh?
Can you do this Sunday?
I might be in Hawaii. I probably can.
Oh no, if you're in Hawaii, no. Because that'll give me a little bit more time to work on my topic. I'll talk to you about the topic I want to cover tomorrow or
Okay.
something. But you leave on Sunday to go to Hawaii? You gonna leave?
Between, well, it depends on the flights.
Okay, so yeah, we don't need to do a show Sunday. We could just do another pop-up if you can on Thursday and then
Because
announce
I'm
it.
flying standby, so it depends on the flights. So
Okay, well, we just won't go live Sunday. That's fine. Oh, Everett said, great show as usual, gentlemen.
thank you, Everett.
Thank you, Everett. We really appreciate your support. You have been like our number one supporter since we started this. You was with us in season 1, so we appreciate you coming through each time. We're gonna get back into the groove of being on a little bit more frequently now, stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, we won't come on this Sunday, but would you be able to do a pop-up next Thursday?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'm coming back then, but I might be able to. We'll work it out, and we'll promote it, and we'll let y'all know. We'll put it on our stories and all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll let you know. We'll let you know. We'll definitely let you know. Season 1, that is great.
Right? Hey, we on season 2 now. Look, it keeps getting more and more refined. I think we was straight thugging on season 1. I like season 1.
We was cutthroat in season 1. Like we a little bit more mild now. I think as each season goes, we'll be a little bit more refined and more calm.
Yeah, and I think the time calls for it. You know?
Yeah, last year was a tumultuous year with the pandemic, and we couldn't go nowhere. We were locked down, so that timing called for it. So,
yeah. Well, all right, y'all. I hope that you all have a great rest of the week and a great weekend. And thank you for joining Vibe Lyrical Pop-Up number 10. And we will see y'all.
You gonna close out with the?
You know I am. I got it pulled up right turn.
Oh, okay.